What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday evening. The Packers, 2-0. We can talk about that. It's a lot of football happened this Sunday. Thanks for tuning in, whether you listen on the podcast or you're watching live, YouTube, Facebook, all the places. If you're watching live, hammer the chat, you know what I mean? But I want to give a shout out to the sponsors real quick, you know what I mean? Quick Trip. If you're coming to Green Bay this season and you need a place to get some stuff, some beer, maybe some ice, maybe some cheese, some food, Quick Trip is a spot. Quick Trip with a K, it's the good one, you know what I mean? And also Nicolette Law. If you get injured in an accident, you get injured and you're missing work, insurance companies are being sketchy with you, Nicolette Law is going to make sure that you get what you deserve, get what you're supposed to get. And there we go. And we got ourselves some merch over here. Thank you, Jerry merch. If you find yourself in Dallas and you got one of these Thank You, Jerry shirts and you're wearing it, take a picture, send it to me. I want to share some of these. But Thank You, Jerry merch and all types of merch at thematramage.com. I have the links all over my social media. Be sure to grab yourself some good old merch, you know what I mean? Let's head over to the chat. We got some people popping in here. What's up, Dick Cowada? How you doing, man? He's the creator of the shirt, you know what I mean? Iowa Joe, you and Green Bay guy on the same time. How am I supposed to choose who to watch? I didn't even realize that we're on the, I forgot. He does Tuesdays at 7:30. Hey, but I was doing it first. So the Green Bay guy better get off my turf. You know what I mean? He's got to switch up. What's up? Doug Hype TV, Ramage time. You know what I mean? I want to talk about some Green Bay Packers today. We got a lot to talk about. Aaron Jones also was put on injury reserve today for some news for you. What's up, McQuaid? But yeah, Aaron Jones was put on injury reserve. There's a lot of weird injuries around the NFL, but shout out to Aaron Jones. That sucks for him. That sucks to see him wearing the purple and now being on injury reserve. So hopefully he gets better. I don't know the extent of the injury, if it's like the full season injury reserve, it's 4 games. I think I saw on Twitter that it was 4 games. But we're going to talk about some Packers. So hammer the chat and get your questions in, what you want to talk about. But we're going to start this thing off today talking about this defense, because everybody's talking about the Green Bay Packers right now. Does Green Bay have the best defense in the NFL thanks to Micah Parsons? I absolutely do think that they have the best defense in the NFL. I think right now it doesn't matter. Week 2, talking about best defense, best offense, it really doesn't matter. But I think it's good to have it because I think that they can go in there. This season's going to be so much fun to watch. And Cleveland, dude, they're going to beat the crap out of Cleveland. And this defense is just spectacular. It's funny how all the national media is talking about it now. I made a video kind of making fun of Ryan Clark a little bit because all the media now is like, the Packers have the best defense, they have the best roster, they're going to the Super Bowl. All offseason, they were like, they're going to finish 3rd place, the Bears will probably be ahead of them. The switch up is crazy, and they act like it didn't happen. But absolutely, what Micah Parsons brings, and not just him, but how Rashawn Gary, Van Ness, everyone seems to be just popping off. Nixon, the secondary is doing it. This whole defense is doing it because the secondary is like the one spot where everyone was down on. Even me, where I was like, I'm a little cautious about it, but they're playing better. But obviously with the pass rush makes their job easier and they can really flourish. And that's, cornerback isn't supposed to cover for 7 seconds. You know what I mean? So it's good. Let's get to some comments here. There will be games we don't get pressure. We need the cornerback group to show up. Nixon did. Can he do it again? I absolutely hope he can. I think, coming from talking about this defense, what Parsons does, it's not just Parsons. Obviously he's going to get his pressure, but the secondary was playing well on their own too. And obviously it helped, like I say, with having pressure, but even when it wasn't there, like they were still doing their job. The linebackers doing their job. This defense is nasty. You know what I mean? Stacy asks, "How cold is it there with you in your Packers hoodie?" I don't know. It's not cold. I like hoodies though. You know what I mean. And my wife keeps the house like a little refrigerator over here. So, uh, let's keep it moving over here. Ramage, how high is the beer can stack tonight? No beer tonight. I just had a water. I don't know where it went, but I'm drinking water. No drinking. Now that like I'm live streaming 6 days a week, I'm probably not gonna drink 6 days a week. You know what I mean? Probably won't be good. But here we go. Appreciate the calls. All right, so let's ask this. We talked about the defense, and we can get more into it, especially if the chat wants to. But the offense, Jaden Reed, goes down. Can Matthew Golden step up and be the absence in that absence of Jaden Reed? And side note on Jaden Reed, there's a video out there of Jaden Reed, like he had his surgery, he was high on whatever medication that he was on, and he was talking about the Packers, and he's like, "We're going to the freaking Super Bowl," and he was like, it was so funny because it's like a fan under whatever medication he was under. Absolutely hilarious. So this team is hyped because that's his true feelings. You know what I mean? That he was telling no lies right there. But can Matthew Golden step up in the absence of Jaden Reed? I think he can. I'm interested to see what this offense can be because Jordan Love gets a lot of trash talk. Gets a lot of what has he done, but he's about to show you what he can do. I think it won't just be Matthew Golden, but Matthew Golden, I think he's like fighting at the whatever, biting at the what's that saying? I don't even know what it is. But I think he's ready to go. I think he's excited. Obviously not that Jaden Reed's hurt, but he's going to have a lot more opportunities, and he wants to be that guy. So I absolutely think Matthew Golden. That's the thing. Golden gets open consistently, and that's what we need. We need guys that can get open. Because I remember all those years, like back when the Packers had like a solid wide receiver group, and there was times like guys just can't get open, like after like you lose someone. So I like that we got guys. We got fast guys. Christian Watson. They're talking about him. He could be back sooner than we thought. I mean, he can't come back like now because obviously he has to be out so many games. But he said he feels like if the NFC Championship game was tomorrow, he could come back right now. So that's hopeful because at first I was thinking it was going to be halfway through the season. So maybe we will get him back a little bit sooner. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Matthew Golden's going to get a. Hang on. We can't. My phone's ringing. All right. We can't do that right now. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Oh, that video was hilarious. Can't wait to see his reaction when he watches it later, dude. Absolutely, dude. I was thinking about talking about that Jaden Reed video. I was thinking like how are like I think it was live on like Instagram or something. His family were just like, yeah, this seems like a good idea. Let's put him on live, which it isn't a big deal, but I thought it was funny because usually you don't see that from players. I think Wicks is going to be a lot more involved too with Rito. Yeah, Wicks, he showed like everyone was like really high on him like last season, and then he kind of like didn't turn out how people wanted, not just for him but for the whole passing game. And this year, dude, I feel like he's ready too. I feel like these guys are like far enough in their career, like they're gonna take a big step this season. I feel like a lot of people saw the Packers wide receiver group as maybe like a liability or like they're not good enough. But dude, this wide receiver group is ready. And you talk about Tucker Kraft, you talk about the run game, like McQuaid over here saying run game has been slowish start. Offensive line has been great in pass protection. Run blocking can be what is going on? Is these sound effects or is my phone tweaking? But yeah, but the run game has been like slow, like in the first part of the game. So we need to get that going like right out the gate. But I have no worries about the run game. But yeah, they're getting after it on pass blocking. Need to let's get to this next comment here. Need to establish the running game for play action. Absolutely. Early, run the ball. I like that they're not really giving up on the run, like when the run's not working real good. But I like what they're doing. I want to see Golden on the outside more, not in the slot replacing Reed. I really don't care where they put him. I think that they're going to find like the best, guys for slot and for the outside, and they'll try to get guys open. He's a speed guy, so he's a guy that I think you can put him anywhere, and he's going to get open. What's up, Rick? He says, Matt, the man, evening, bro. Cheers. I appreciate you, Rick. Thanks for popping up in here. Doug Hype says, he said, I left a voicemail about the wide receivers. I maybe I can play it on over my phone, but I can't get it on the audio right here quite yet. We're gonna get to a voicemail we got. Wicks and Dobbs have been good so far. Could be all coming together at the right time. Absolutely. So I'm gonna real quick get to a voicemail, and then we'll talk more about this because he kind of talks about everything. This is my guy Ivan. You see him in
Hey,
the chat
Matt,
a
it's
lot.
Eric, and here's my take. Listen, a lot of the national media still isn't giving Green Bay the just due at this point, and not that I expect them to erect the monument to the Packers yet, but they will be doing it by like week 6 or 7. But the fact that they still kind of talk to them as if after they've dominated both the Lions and the Commanders like they were nothing. This is a team that's going to be devastatingly good. And I don't think the national media, at least on the East Coast or the West Coast, may like it as much as the Midwest does. And parts of it, let's take it, Minnesota and Chicago doesn't like it, but Green Bay is that team. They are him. We are them. The Green Bay Packers are the unstoppable force this year, and people better get ready for it.
That's
Have
what
a
I'm
great
talking
night.
about.
Have a great call. Thanks. Bye.
Dude, Ivan Lars in the building, dude. That was a great call. Thanks for the call. And be sure, like, you can get your calls in. I'm not going to get to them now, but leave a voicemail. Be part of the show after the game, midweek. I'm going to be going through voicemails as I get them throughout the week on streams I'm doing. I want the show to be about the people. You know what I mean? But he's right, dude. There's dude. Remember when I was making those videos and I was yelling and screaming in my truck, talking about it's okay to be excited about this team. And some of those were after Parsons, but even throughout the offseason, I just felt like this team was better than a lot of people were talking about. And now, dude, they are absolutely showing it, dude. 2-0, but like I seen Xavier McKinney kind of talk about this in a press conference or interview or whatever it was. And he was like, it's 2-0, let's not get carried away. Because I see a lot of people talking Super Bowl, which I'm the most biased Packer fan. I'm the yelling, we're going to the Super Bowl fan like every year. But like I don't like it when the national media does it. Because I like to be like kind of under that radar kind of a little bit. And everybody's talking about the Packers going to the Super Bowl. It's week 2. Let's go in there and beat the crap out of the Browns and keep moving with it. But dude, I'm excited. I love to see that people are jacked up about the Packers. People are talking good about the Packers. People are talking good about Jordan Love. It is awesome. But we got a comment. Have you had a chance to talk to Kenny since the trade? No, I sent him a message, said good luck, and he's busy doing stuff. I don't think I'm the person on his mind when he got traded. But shout out to Kenny Clark. He seems to be having a good time. Seems to enjoy Dallas, according to his social media. Uh, it's Ivan calling from inside a well, possibly. Here we go, Joey. Love all the content and live streams besides the Packers games. You are the thing I look forward to when football season starts up. I appreciate that, Joey. I have fun. My voice is a little off right now. I think because the calling the games, I lost my voice. Plus, my wife is sick, so maybe I'm coming up with something. I don't know, but we're gonna keep her moving. I appreciate that comment. Did you know that Devontae Wyatt leads all defensive tackles in quarterback pressures? I saw someone on Twitter talking about that. I didn't see like that he was the top, but he was one of the top because I think Micah Parsons' brother, or I think it's his brother that's on Twitter, really active. And he said, "Pay the man before the price gets too crazy." Yeah, dude, he stepped up. He's getting after it, dude. I think that this Packers defense is doing things that no one expected. Even remember when Parsons first got traded, everyone said that's not going to be enough. Everyone said it doesn't matter. And I think it's funny. Like I saw a lot of people talk about. Remember when Kenny Clark was in Green Bay, and he was just Kenny Clark. He wasn't superstar Kenny Clark. He wasn't one of the best defensive tackles Kenny Clark. He was just Kenny Clark. And I'm talking about the perception outside of Green Bay, what everyone talked about. He got traded to Dallas and instantly, this is Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark, one of the best defensive tackles in the league, and like all this because he's in Dallas, which I was pumped for. I love it that he was getting the attention and getting all the love. What I'm saying is like I feel like the Packers, they're always down on him because then Parsons comes into Green Bay and Parsons in Dallas was the best pass rusher. He's a threat. Anyone has him on their team, they're gonna be all right. He gets traded to Green Bay, that ain't gonna help. That ain't going to be enough. He's not going to like Green Bay. He's going to hate it there. He's a bad locker room guy. And like all this stuff started coming out his back. He's almost paralyzed and all this stuff. But then like after 2 weeks, Now it kind of simmered down. Now everyone's like, all right, the Packers are the best defense in the league right now. Everyone on ESPN, all the places talking about the Packers, saying that they're one of those top teams. And it's funny because like they had to be convinced. Like they almost were like, all right, I guess we'll just admit it because they don't want it, dude. I feel like the Packers are always talked down on, and they always like try to find like excuses even when they win, even when they're good. They don't want to talk good about them. ESPN's anti Green Bay. You know what I mean? Let's get to some more chat here. What's up, Lori? Hi, Matt. Hi from Beck's Bus. Jump on anytime. Oh yeah, I know. My producer was telling me about you. I would definitely like to do that. You guys sound awesome. He told me all the stories. You can throw a picture up if you want. But this is them. They have a bus. I don't know all the details. He told me before the stream, but they got to do. They got to go the Wisconsin Badgers at the stadium. That's in like with the news crew. They had a whole big thing, and I would love to get on that bus. You know what I mean? That sounds absolutely fabulous. Shout out to the producer, Vince. You know what I mean? And thank you. Nice of you. I can't wait to see it, dude. I like to see all this stuff, like going down by training or by tailgating and whatnot, seeing everyone's tailgate. I was over by the ambulance the other day. My guy, his name's slipping on my mind because my memory sucks, but he's awesome. He's got a cool ambulance. They do the shot skis, they do the whole thing, music blaring. I love going to all those different things, and the bus is sounds awesome. Sounds absolutely fantastic. I appreciate you, Lori. What is up, Karen? Hi, Matt. Just checking in on YouTube here in Belfair, Washington. Go Pack, go! I appreciate that. The hate to give our team props, dude. And I feel like it's been like that since forever. Like with the Packers, like when Favre was here and they were trying to run him out of town. I feel like the media was always trying to get. Aaron Rodgers, like, oh, he should get traded, and like, I don't know, I just feel like even like before he did, you know what I mean? I just feel like they're always trying to. I think it's a Wisconsin thing because even Giannis is kind of the same thing. Like the national media just wants him gone from Milwaukee. I don't know. Maybe it's just a small market thing. Maybe that they don't like coming here. I don't know. But yeah, that absolutely is a sweet bus. We can check that out. Maybe if I head over there, we can do some videos and show off that thing. Let everyone know what it is. You know what I mean? Steal some content. Here we go. Other than the kicking game, I still can't watch special teams. I don't know. Special teams has been improved. They made some stuff. I mean, I feel like special teams isn't the reason like bad things, like, horrible things are happening because the special teams last season it felt like it was just so much stuff. But now they're winning. They're kind of convincingly. Maybe it covers up some stuff. But I'm happy with where the special teams is and like where they're at. I'm jacked about this whole team. I really am. We were talking about Tucker Kraft a little bit, but he was the player of the game for me last year. I got a little crap because we were like, it should have been Nixon. But Tucker Kraft, I love this dude. He seems like he's gonna be a guy that like Jordan Love can depend on. And I feel like if anything's breaking down, like on that play I kind of talked about in that video I did for Player of the Week, where Tucker Kraft came back. And I think that's what you want. A guy who knows, all right, my quarterback's in trouble. Let me run back to him. And he got the first down, I believe. It was a big play, stayed in bounds. That's what you want. So I feel like Tucker Kraft's gonna have a huge monster season. I feel like he's gonna have a monster career. I feel like him and Jordan Love locked together. He's gonna be like a George Kittle type of guy. I mean, I'm not saying like the same style because I'm not no tight end scout or nothing. But I'm saying like he's gonna be a guy that everyone in the league's gonna know, and he's on my fantasy team. You know what I mean? So you gotta love that. You know what I mean? Lori says, let us know where to be. Thanks so much. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll find out where when all this can happen. We will figure that out for surely. You know what I mean? But let me know what you think. Maybe we should do some talking about the Browns. I won't lie. I don't know a lot about the Browns, so I'm not gonna get like all breaking down this Packers versus the Browns. But I think the Browns are a bad team. And the Packers should dominate them. The Packers should punch them in the face. Like it should be like 45-10 ball game. You know what I mean? And like that last touchdown for the Browns being in like garbage time because you go in there and you convincingly beat Washington. Like Ivan said this, you convincingly beat Washington. You convincingly beat the Lions. Now go in there and now you're supposed to slaughter the Browns. You're supposed to slaughter bad teams. Let's be that team that keeps their foot on the gas, doesn't mess around, and just destroys team. Let's be like those Patriots teams that had no relentless. You know, I know Matt LaFleur gets a little bit conservative in that second half sometimes, like with the lead. I don't know, like don't think he's been doing a bad job this year. There's a few times where I was like, ugh. But I don't like it when we too early you get conservative with the, and then the other team kind of gets rolling, and now it's kind of hard for you to get back into the groove. So like while you're hot, while you're being successful on the field, murder them. You know what I mean? Absolutely slaughter them. Here we go. Jason says I'm watching Spaceballs, but either way, go Pack Go. There you go. Appreciate the comment. Joey says, I think the Lions having a lot of tough games that they may lose, and Packers having easier ones. We should win. We could really pull ahead in the division and make the Lions feel it's out of reach. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like with the Lions, they beat up on the Bears really good. They didn't play good against the Packers, so that was kind of the knock on the Packers. Like last year, they don't beat good teams, you know what I mean? And that's a knock on a lot of teams. They don't beat good teams. And if you beat up on bad teams, but you don't beat the good teams, then that's not good for you either. So you wonder about the Lions. How are they going to play like when they're playing some of these tough teams? Are they going to go back and be looking more like against the Packers? Or are the Packers just so fantastic that the Lions are, next level, but the Packers are maybe the greatest team of all time. I saw a Lions fan talk about that, make a video, and he was after the Bears game, and he was like, well, we slaughtered the Bears. He goes, I guess the Packers are just the best team of all time. And I think that might be what it is, you know what I mean? It might just be that the Packers are so good, but I think that everyone was hyped up in that week one. Micah Parsons coming in. I think everyone was hyped up. I don't think that it was obviously a fluke because they did it against Washington too. And dude, just go in there to Cleveland and beat the crap out of them. You know what I mean? What's up, Jason? He says, cheers, y'all. Nothing but Wisco love. You know what I mean? I appreciate you popping in here. But yeah, dude, I don't know. What else do you want to talk about? You know what I mean? I think we kind of covered everything. I'm going to be doing Pick'em show tomorrow, and that's going to be a really good show because we're going to break down all of it. We got a producer, got some cool graphics for the Pick'em show, so make sure that you get your picks in for the week. I'll be doing mine live right here. We'll break down the games that matter. We'll get after it, and the ones that don't matter, we'll pick them, but we're going to keep it moving on there. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, dude. Doug Hype says it. I think this is the best Packers team I've ever seen, and I think it's been dude. Like when you talk about the best Packers team you've ever seen, I think that's a lot to say. I'm old. I've seen some really good teams. I mean, I think everyone has. Even like 2011, that was a good team. But this team feels like it's not ours. Like this doesn't feel like the Packers team. This feels like someone else's team. I said that. Like it feels like the Ravens, or like the way that this defense is getting after it. I mean, there's some the Clay Matthews days. We were like really pass rush was relentless, but to see this pass rush the way it is and the secondary doing their thing, man, this team just looks nasty, and you gotta love it. You know what I mean? Doug says, I mean, we have an all-pro at every position. That's what it seems like. It seems like where's the weakness, and that's what a lot of people are saying. Where is the weakness? I didn't like the early bye week, but with Watson and Reed injured and Parsons still slowly getting reps, that by the time the bye is over, he'll get 100% reps, and guys should be close to be 100%. Dude, Joey, that's a beautiful comment. That's a great point because that early bye week did kind of tick some people off. We'd rather not have that. I think the players kind of feel the same way. They'd want it in the middle. But then when you start getting a few injuries, and then, like you mentioned, Parsons, we want to get him 100%. That early bye week doesn't hurt the Packers at all. You know what I mean? Doug Boy says, I started watching in the mid-'80s. Yeah, that's probably when I was watching. I was born in '79, and the Packers were like the biggest point, like in our family. Like we didn't have a lot of money, but we had a big TV. Everyone came over to watch the Packers on it, and I actually broke it, so I was sorry for that. But we had a big TV for a while though. But all my uncles, my cousins, they come over. Like it was a Packer party, and my best friend who lived next door, Chuck, he was a Bears fan, and like he would come over. Yeah. Then they wouldn't even let him in the house on Sundays. They'd be like, no, 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 because the Bears were good, then the Packers were bad. So it was kind of like a funny joke then. Even though I don't think that there was that much of a joke. Here we go. The Bears still suck. Yeah, dude. That's why the Bears still suck thing is in my bones, because I was taught that from a young child that they are bad. You know what I mean? I picked 10, 16 for week 2. Okay, you got 10 out of 16. I didn't look, but that's what I'm gonna start doing tomorrow for the Pick'em show. Is show who did what. I mean, not the whole list. There's like over 300 people in there, but we're gonna show like highlight some of those top spots. It won't be me, but we're gonna talk about how I did, and people in the chat obviously can tell how they did. We're gonna make it a fun show. You know what I mean? I started working on week 3. Yeah, dude. Whenever I make my picks, I just fly through them. I'm just like, which a cool thing is though for people like if you're not sure about a game is they have a percentages there to what people are picking. You know what I mean? And Joey says, I'm excited for the Packers to play the Eagles and Ravens. I feel like we have to beat Eagles in the playoffs for the NFC title and either Ravens or Bills in the Super Bowl. So it'll be good tests for the team. Dude, absolutely great points. Eagles and the Ravens are two teams, like I think two top 5 teams in the NFL, depending on where you're ranking teams right now. But Ravens and Eagles, that'd be a humongous test because you assume that we're going to go into those games with a good record, maybe undefeated. You know what I mean? Eagles are going to be a huge test. Super Bowl champs, they're a ferocious team. They're a nasty team. They got all the hype. They got all the motivation. Like they feel like they can't lose a game. You know what I mean? They beat the Chiefs. And the Ravens, like this every year, I feel like, I love me some Lamar Jackson. He's my fantasy quarterback, and he just seems like such a good dude. You know what I mean? And he's a baller. He's so much fun to watch. But can they contain him? He can run around. He can throw. He can do it all. That Ravens team is good. Jair Alexander, he's over there. He's still got that injury, but I will see. Like hopefully he's good to go by then. And I would love to see the Packers just go up there and didn't because I want to see him smack some good teams. You know what I mean? And then to really make you feel good about going into the playoffs. Beat these good teams. I mean, they already beat 2, but like keep it going. You don't celebrate 2-0. We are not the Vikings or the Bears. When they have a decent little start, and all of a sudden you're hanging banners. Keep her moving, smack up the Browns, and then keep her going. And the Cowboys the week after that, dude, that's gonna be so good. Our boy Watson is scheduled to start practice after the bye. Yeah, so I think he's gonna be back sooner than later. Especially like where I thought he was gonna be. Like when that injury happened, I'm like he's gonna miss most of this season. And I figured he'd, be back for the playoffs or be back for later in the season. But it sounds like he's going to be, it's going to be a little bit quicker than that. But yeah, dude, with Watson coming back, dude, after the bye, dude, that is where this team needs to step on the gas, roll over. Like talking about that Cowboy game, because, you got the Browns up next, which I think that they should slaughter them. The Cowboys are going to have a lot of motivation. The Cowboys are going to be fired up. They're going to really want that win with Parsons leaving. Jerry Jones is probably going to give some speech. That's why they'll lose, because Jerry Jones can put so much pressure. I don't know, that's not why. I think the Packers are a much better team, and the Packers do well in Dallas, dude. The Packers have more playoff wins in Dallas than the Cowboys do. So, like, the Packers going there, that's nothing. Let's just go in there. Dude, I hope they just beat them, like, so badly. Just dominate them, you know what I mean? And I actually don't have hate for, like, the Cowboys, like I don't care about the Cowboys, but after this whole thing that this trade happened, like all the talk and like Jerry Jones is trying to force the agenda that like he won the trade. I feel like he cares more about that than anything. Is that people think he won the trade? I got Cowboy fans like commenting on my stuff and like, "Oh, we won the trade." Like, all right, congratulations, bud. We'll be in the playoffs and you won't. So I hope you enjoy that. Where do you do the pick'ems? I do them on CBS Sports. It's called the Ramage Pick'em League. You should join because it's still early and you can win the whole thing. The winner gets what was I doing? I think $100 gift card to the Packers Pro Shop. And also this Wednesday I will be doing a giveaway on my Facebook because I had 100,000 followers. I'm going to give away a $130 gift card because I said when I had 100,000 followers I'll give away a jersey. So I'm just going to give away a gift card that's the same amount as a jersey I would have bought. So anyone can buy it online. If they're not in Wisconsin, they can do whatever they want. And you don't have to get a jersey. You can get something else. But so make sure you check out my Facebook page on Wednesday. You know what I mean? But yeah, join the Pick'em League. Everyone, join the Pick'em League. I like how Matt opened the playbook when they could use it. Hope he saves some juice for big games too. Yeah, I want Matt LaFleur to get a little creative. You know what I mean? Get a little spunky with it. I think Matt LaFleur has a great offensive mind. I don't love everything he does all the time, but I'm sure he doesn't love everything I say all the time either. If he heard it, but I want him to get creative. I want him to get crazy. Like you say, like save some stuff for like the Eagles and the Ravens, like these big time teams. I want to see him get creative, and I think you're gonna see that because with the defense being like they are, they can take chances, right? They can say, all right, well, if we fail on this, we can do this thing, whatever it may be. And if it fails, our defense has got us. Our defense is good enough. They can bail us out. So the offense can get creative. They can try to do some more aggressive type of play calls because they trust that the defense has him. You know what I mean? What is up, Kevin? The Cowboys in the 90s is like the Eagles now, dude. The Cowboys in the 90s, I don't know. I don't think that. I'm not sure, dude. Cowboys in the 90s were nasty. I hated the Cowboys so much in the 90s. I remember they beat the Packers one time, and then in an interview, like I think it was Michael Irvin, said playing the Packers is like a practice game. And I took that personally. You know what I mean? I for the rest of my life, I was like, screw the Cowboys. I hate them all. And whether they go on in different careers, Michael Irvin can't stand them. Troy Aikman can't stand them. Not personally. It's just like when they're on the TV, that's all I think about is those 90s teams. I get flashbacks. You know what I mean? What is up, Philly Boys? Scoreboard. No scoreboard today, but we will be live for Thursday Night Football. I forget who plays on Thursday Night Football. I think it's I think it's the Dolphins or something. I'm not sure, but we're gonna be live for Thursday Night Football. And dude, Sunday, the Packers Washington Commanders game. We have some great new graphics coming up. We're gonna spice up the commercials a little bit. You know what I mean? So you're not seeing the same type of stuff all the time. It's gonna be absolutely awesome. So be sure to check out the Matt Ramage show during the Packers game and Thursday Night Football too. But we're saving the best stuff for the Packers stream. You know what I mean? We don't use our best stuff for non-Packer games. Here we go. Hi, I'm new here. Hey, what is up? I appreciate it's coming in here. Flow Snake. I like that name. You know what I mean? Appreciate it. Be sure to tap that subscribe button if you're not, everyone. And also the Matt Ramage show, the audio version. If you're watching live right now, be sure to hit that subscribe button on Apple, Spotify, all the places people listen to podcasts. You know what I mean? And I think I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I think I said all I need to say over here. I'll be here I'm streaming 6 days a week, 7:30 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday, Wednesday. Like tomorrow, I'll do the Pick'em show. Thursday night, we'll do Thursday Night Football. Friday night, we're going to try to do like some type of game theme thing. We're going to make it fun. Friday night, let's get jiggy with it a little bit. And then Saturday, I won't be streaming. And then Sunday, we'll be streaming for the games and whatnot. And I'm going to do the Packer game. I'm not for sure I'm going to do another game after the Packer game because my buddy Ryan Rubel, he's doing we got this Chad Kavatka. He's doing like a signing or whatever. Sometime I think at Stadium View. So head on over to Stadium View. I think it's 11 to 5. Be sure to check out Ryan Rubel's social media. You can find out. But I might head over there after the Packer game if I have time. But so I'm not for sure I'm gonna be streaming any more games on Sunday. I want to. We're gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? I might, but we're gonna find out because I might just call over there and say, hey, let me buy Ryan a shot. I guess I don't have to buy him a shot. He's got his own vodka. But anyway, shout out to Ryan Rubel and the Chedka vodka. Be here tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, as we pick our games. So if you're not in the Pick'em League, join the Pick'em League and let's pick some games together. You know what I mean? All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up, Mr. Producer Man. Let's get out of here.